Okay, so we're going to be left with 4 plus 14 times 3, which is 42n. And then 3 times negative 49 gives us negative 147 is equal to negative 30 plus 21n. Okay, with me so far? Again, all I've done here is multiply everything by 3. Okay, now step number 3 is a little bit different now. Combine like terms on each side of the equal sign. On the left-hand side, do you see anything here that you can combine? Yes. This 4 and this negative 147 are two items that you can combine together. So I have here 42n, and then when I combine a 4 and a negative 147, we get negative 143. Okay, and that's equal to the other side, which I can't clean that one up because one item has an n and the other one doesn't. Okay, now you notice that you have variables on both sides. So your next step should have been to subtract 21n from both sides. That cancels out. And so we get 42 minus 21, which is just 21n, minus 143 is equal to negative 30. Okay. Then you're going to get rid of the number that is with, I'm sorry, not with, but is near the variable. So we're going to add 143 to both sides. Okay. That cancels out. So you're left with 21n is equal to negative 30 plus 143, which is 113. Okay. Divide both sides by 21. And last but not least, n is equal to 113 over 21, or as a decimal, 5.38. Okay? Now again here, how could I go about checking this to see if this was correct? Okay? And I'm not actually going to go through that process here. However, all you would have to do is take 5.38 and plug it wherever you see an n, and both sides of the equation should be true. Okay, so if you did get this right, give yourself a pat on the back, because that was a pretty difficult problem. Okay? Okay, so we're almost done with the lesson for today. Now, to conclude this lesson, we got 2 more problems that we're going to tackle, and that are the multi-step inequalities now. Now remember, we had 2 rules for inequalities, right? Our rule number 1 was what? When we divide by a negative, you would do what to the sign? That's right, you flip it. So divide by a negative, we flip the inequality. Okay. And then the second rule, it's not really a rule per se, it's just an easier way to make sure that you get your symbol correct. So for example, if you had something that looked like this, 3 is less than r, okay, how should you really write that? Okay, remember, we're more accustomed to seeing the r on the left-hand side. So I'm just going to switch those, and if I switch these to put them in the proper order, I need to also switch the inequality symbol. So this is really how you should be reading that statement, that r is greater than 3. Okay? So just keep those 2 things in mind when we go through these next 2 problems, because we may see that. All right? So looking at problem number 1, all right, again, you're going to follow the same exact steps, except if you've come across any of these 2 rules, just make sure that you apply them. So first thing we're going to do is distribute. So 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times negative 8v is a negative 16v, is less than or equal to negative 28 minus 6v. Okay. Now step number 2 is for fractions. We're nice here. This doesn't have any fractions. Go to step number 3, which is to combine like terms on both sides of the equal sign. There's nothing here to combine. Okay, again, same reasons. There's a v here, there isn't a v here. You can't combine them. All right? Now, you have v's on both sides, so keep going the way that we've been doing. Take the variable that's on the right and move that over to the left. So I'm going to add 6v there. And I'm going to drop down everything else I have. I have a 2. This will be minus 10v is less than or equal to negative 28. Okay. Your next step will be to subtract 2 from both sides. So this will cancel out. And we have negative 10v is less than or equal to negative 30. And now what you're going to do is you're going to divide by the number that's with the variable. In this case, it's a negative 10. Did you catch that statement there? Divided by a negative 10. Remember, when you divide by a negative, what are you going to do? Right, flip the sign. So v is greater than or equal to positive 3. Okay? And remember, what does this actually mean? It's not exactly that v is equal to 3. When you go back and check this one, you can plug 3 in because in the statement here it says that it's greater than or equal to 3. Okay? But what this really means is that any number that's greater than or equal to 3 will satisfy the inequality and make both sides true. Okay? So this second problem here, guess what? You guessed correctly. This one is going to be for you to try. Okay, so take a moment and pause the video, see if you get this correct, and then finally hit play when you're ready to check your answer. Okay, so here's the solution. Distribute here. No fractions, nothing to combine, so I'm going to move the a over, so add 3a. Okay, so I get negative 26 minus 5a is greater than negative 21. You should then add 26 to both sides. And we get negative 5a is greater than 5. Okay, I'm now going to divide both sides by a negative 5. And again, you should have hopefully caught that you divided by a negative and flip this, and we get a negative 1. Okay, so this is the answer. Okay. So now that you have watched this video on the lesson, take a moment then and take care of the post-assessment. It should be on the website, and the homework assignment is also there. Okay, and remember, reserve any questions that you may have for the next webinar because we will tackle those then. Thanks for listening, guys. Hope you guys have a great evening. Thank you.